then as well. You literally pointed out halfway into that they're being really passive in this. It's almost too much caution coming.
No, it felt like it. Like they were like not really playing. They should have contested them more because they had the weaponry that EnVy didn't, and they just gave the room that they should have given.
Well, nice little start there for Smith finding Zeus, but Guardian and Edward making the most of it, and really no ground gained here for the T side, trying to contest in mid. Guardian doesn't, and it peaks up again, finds Shocks, and now just MBK left alive, 1v4. He knows at least where Guardian is, but oh, Guardian again denied. This guy is on point today, and he said he was so pleased to hear them. I think he's got them on their side now.
Just like the analysts were talking, it's going to be a lot about the mid control here, and that was the first battle of the middle, and just very well done by NAVI. And well, Guardian, even though he didn't hit those few shots, in the end,
he made it. He made up for it, right?
Yeah, he made up for it.
But we are seeing the T side once again going into this with a bye. But what do we make of that mid play? Because it didn't really seem to go anywhere. Was it just well played out by NAVI, or just not perfectly executed by the T side?
It's always a bit of both, but it was just very well held by they had. I think they had 3 people playing that mid. So when you give that much emphasis on middle, it's really hard for the T's to come through and take over. So you need to slow down your play to make the CTs rotate a bit and give yourself more room to maneuver with.
And 1 minute into this round now, really.
Yeah, and they have slowed down.
T side looking towards A. Good couple players still here, maybe waiting for a smoke and a couple of pop flashes in. Seas has actually pushed through Squeaky, so MBK, Smith and Keo could at least get a shot towards Guardian, but Guardian has a great angle, doesn't get the first shot, goes in for a second, misses a second, and will allow the T side at least a glimpse towards the site. Down to 2. Do they have a shot in this one?
Considering Kiroshima's health, it's going to be tough.
Certainly is. Now 1v2, probably going to struggle to even get that bomb. And Seized is still lurking around the back. Starks in mid. Keo.
Very hard 1-on-2 actually.
Yeah, it's near impossible, but does have a smoke and a flash, maybe able to create something from it.
Yeah, the thing is, if they play together, Seized and Starks. Oh, there we go. No need to play together when you're just headshotting people. But yeah, how to minimize the risk is to play as much together as possible in a 2-on-1 situation when you're playing a single player, especially when you are trying to defuse the bomb. It could be the other way around actually if you're defending a bomb plant, that you just play 2 individual 1-on-1s to spend as much time as possible out of the bomb.
Makes sense. Now, let's kind of recap where we're at so far, because we will be seeing the T-side buying up, but very briefly, 5-0 scoreline.
Yep.
Is this NAVI starting to feel confident in their match here, or is this just still, it's early? We don't want to get too confident, we want to very play calm and keep into this, but mentally, how the team's starting to build into this one?
No, it's perfect. It's the perfect kind of start, and there we go. Guardian just getting the first kill as well. You know, this is the point where you're getting 5-0 up. You're going to start making a little bit more risk to CT, trying to get those early kills, and that's going to make it harder, even harder for EnVy to make it work. But now, NBK with their retaliation, I think very important. That's going to be favoring the T's actually.
Yeah, that'll at least take the dedicated player away from B, as we do see Keo finding Zeus as well, so really going to struggle to fulfill these sites and the obligations towards them. Guardian has put himself towards the B site. The bomb with the T's, not to really commit. Happy waits for Edward to push out, finds him. And now just 2 left alive for the CT side, and piece by piece it seems the T side had worked out exactly where they were and just kind of through. But will MBK expect C's lurking? No. Maybe there's still a little bit of a chance here.
Depends on Guardian a lot if he would be able to get a shot, but he's smoked out, so it's going to make it tough for him. Say if he actually does get a pick early, there's a chance, but then it's going to be really tough otherwise.
So the Shocks is just waiting at quad towards the left Keo by that squeaky door, and Guardian flashed up, C's flashed up, and the time's starting to tick a little faster, but Guardian does get that pick, forcing Shocks to peek out a little. Guardian sees, trying to a 1. Now just Keo left alive, bomb is ticking. Guardian's going to go for it, C's needs to hold off Keo. He goes down, it's the bomb to be defused, and he's done it again. This is unbelievable from NAVI. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing I'm watching here, but it felt like EnVy just threw that round away. Like, you know, 3-on-2 situation, you're in 3 totally different positions, you got like a triangle of death going on the bomb site. We just don't go on peak and give those kills. They need to come in and defuse the bomb. So I feel EnVy right now is just digging their own grave, to be honest with you. Though it's only just 6-0. There's still 9 rounds to go, so you know they just need to be able to start finalizing those rounds and getting those last couple of kills to win some rounds.
And setup-wise, while these guys get set up to actually execute in this round, it does seem that they're able to just produce the 1v1s out of situations they shouldn't, but Happy at least opening up this time. We'll come back to that point in a moment. Probably if we do see a plant again go down, we'll see something similar. And we'll just kind of take you through the options they have. As Edward does go peering, he finds Smiths on the receiving end. Well, Guardian already getting himself round towards A. 4 players await him.
They keep starting off with getting good trades. EnVy does, and that means they have the opportunity.
They're rotating actually all the way around. It's not a bad idea if they get rid of Zeus.
Yeah, it's the one man, only man, and he's in defense on that side, or around that side.
Keo, Smith, and Shocks. Surely alarm bells will be ringing. Happy's still there, and he's going to take the 1v1 up against Starix. Starix wins that out, but now Zeus is away. He knows what's going on. He's spotted the feet to the T side. Come on, just walking past. Keo gets Guardian. Zeus onto Shocks, and now down to the 2v2. T side do at least get the bomb down, but let's see if they can hold it this time. Smith watching the drop. Great positioning from him. Finds Starix. Zeus is tucked into a corner. I don't think he can get out of this one. Smokes out, baits the shot. Keo now going to do a little flash over the top, and Zeus actually trying to hunt out the player who's just to his left in the smoke behind him. He doesn't know any of this. And brilliantly done by Smith and Keo here. This round should be there to take, and I think Zeus knows what's up. He's going to get out of there, and talk to me why this one seemed to work so much better than the last couple of rounds.
Well, in the end, they got the similar like to previous rounds. Early on, there were trade kills happening, which usually favors T-side. But this time around, they managed to hold the side in the end when they got the bomb down. And Smith's getting that pick of the off, and then Zeus not able to make it into 2 individual one-on-ones. Just worked out. It's not rocket science, actually. It's very simple, in fact.
Dude, it is, and maybe the simple stuff just needs to be starting to work for EnVy, and that's what they need to be looking towards. But
no, but they shouldn't be too worried as long as they just manage to end these rounds, because they're getting into those situations where it's always it's possible for them to win rounds. It's not like they're getting totally wrecked every single round. It's always coming down to those 2-on-3s, and that's the beauty of Counter-Strike. You got to be able to win those rounds to make it count. And that's the thing that they've been lacking so far on this half is finalizing those rounds. They get the early play right, but then falter in the last moment.
We're seeing actually a very tentative EnVyUs so far. Maybe looking for those early exchanges they've been doing so well on the last couple of rounds. Yeah. Whether they close or not, obviously, up for discussion. But Smith and MBK starting to lurk forward.
Yeah, and you can tell from the situation where NAVI only has a Deagle and 5-7 and a couple of calls and an AWP, that the money's not that good for them because of all the close rounds that they've had.
Most certainly, it looks like it's going to be a B push coming in. You can see them starting to swarm here. Actually, Starix and Zeus already waiting on this. Well, this could be a disaster. Actually, MBK finds one. Happy gets down Edward, but Zeus is still alive, but not for long, as the T-side should be able to lock this one out now. Bomb is going down. This should be a 3v2 they can win.
It should be, yeah. This is a really hard retake unless they peek and give it 3 kills, which I don't see happening. That shouldn't happen anyway.
You say that as Shock's edges forward, but he does hold the angle here, and Guardian almost about to peek it, but decides maybe against that.
Well, it's going to be smarter not to just stay and wait, because, you know, now comes the time to move. Because, yeah, Guardian, they're going to save the weapon. There's no money, really. There's no bank on NAVI right now. Like I said before, all these rounds have been so close that they've had to rebuy for most of the team all along the whole half. So that means that EnVy has a good chance of coming back into this, and economically they have a lot more bank than does actually, just by winning a couple rounds.
And I want to talk to you about Cease and how you obviously play him on a fairly regular basis, whether it be outside tournaments or online. His performance through this event has been pretty substantial compared to what maybe we see, you know, outside of it. How is it comparing? Is he just having a better game overall, or is this just an individual having, you know, a good event, or is this maybe the player we should have been seeing through that whole time?
Yeah, well, you know, it's a lot of different factors to it that really affects your performance, but I guess maybe he's getting more comfortable, and maybe his roles and the way of play that NAVI plays now is more of his liking. So there's a lot of those other things that make a difference. I think he's always had a lot of potential to be a great player.
And looking right now, Edward showing him the veteran hand there on that P250. MBK does manage to go down to him, but still 4v4. seeing sTaRX pushing around the backside, and actually it's not gone so smoothly here for Navi, trying to be a little more aggressive on this, but Guardian does at least get shocks, and would that be enough for him this round, or will he want a little more?
Well, knowing Guardian, it's not going to be enough for him. He's going to go for more.
He's certainly looking for it. He did in the last round, holding an angle just as late as he could almost in this.
Yeah, but, you know, it's going to be important for him to try and save this up, but no, he's just going to stay there.
Maybe confidence is helping in the earlier rounds, but it could be his undoing. He does get one, but exchange for another, and maybe not worth hanging around that long for.
No, considering the money section on their half, there's no way they're buying an off for this round, so they're going to have to go with 5 in force.
What do we make of the double AWP coming out now for the T side? We've
seen more of that lately, actually, from a lot of teams. Since something we've been toying about, actually, and sometimes actually doing it, but it's not something you've seen a lot of before. But it's going to be. I think they're probably going to try and get picks from both sides of the map, maybe mid and like A.
Look at Zeus though; he's actually pushing in really aggressively, using the smoke as much as possible, just kind of gaining map control.
Yep.
Sees some shots. Not too far away either. It's going to be Kyo actually to win out in that one as maybe the T side to open up as Seas goes aggressive again. And this is what we're talking about, the new aggression that's seemingly falling with NAVI every now and then and backing away. Going to readjust, but what do we make of this new aggression coming through from
Nobody in tournaments like these where everyone's awareness is like 150%, those type of tricks actually don't work as often as like, let's say, online play, for example. I've come to notice that because people are so much more aware and so much more concentrated. It feels like those type of plays just don't work as well as they do on like online play. Just putting it out there.
Could be a factor into this one. We already saw 2 players going down with that earlier peak, so it's certainly holding true to trend. But Edward at least does find shocks as they do try and make their way towards the A side. But while all that happened, the path has been edging towards B as sTaRX, the last bastion on this B side, finds NBK walking in towards him, but NBK breaks through as Thief quickly tries to peek up, but Ollie holds him back, and the flash towards side once again denied by NBK, just holding back the CT side single-handedly as Edward now left with no options.
Yeah, he really needs to save, and it's starting to mount up to a pretty good half for EnVy so far. It seems very likely that they're going to be at 5 after the next one because it's going to be a save for NAVI. So you're looking for 6-7 rounds as T side that you can call that a good half. So they are pretty much halfway there, or past halfway there actually.
Definitely on the way to looking very good here. A slower start for EnVy at the beginning, but
yeah,
picked up a lot of pace.
Yeah, but like I said, the early rounds, even though they were down 6-0, they were very close, and it just came down to them being unable to close the rounds, and now they've been executing better and just hitting their shots. It's about getting warmed up, getting into the rhythm and everything like that, so they're just doing a better job.
Well, looking at the CT side, they are really going to be struggling with the money here, down to a couple of P250s, 2 flashes. What's the intention here? We've got 4 players essentially watching mid. What are they trying to achieve out of this one?
They're just trying to feel out what the CTs are doing, since they know they're going to be saving most likely. So the likelihood of finding a stack somewhere is very high. So they're just trying to feel out where it is at, actually.
Well, they found a good beginning there. C's taken down Happy, and already we're going to see them starting to push through. NBK once again stands tall, however, and it's going to be Kyo trying to hold them back. The smoke does wonders for them, but still, they've got an AWP out of this.
Yeah, that's not bad, right? Because it's an expensive weapon, and their money situation is not that good. They are losing momentum every single round right now, so they really need to turn this around, and an AWP on Guardian's hands for next round would be crucial, for sure. And a lot of money saved at the same time.
Yeah, C's will be holding that pretty much as far away as possible, as the rest of the T side will try and exit. It's going to be Zeus maybe trying to get a couple of exit kills here.
Yep.
Might be able to do it. Smith does come around slightly unawares, and aggressive peek comes out from Zeus. If he can stay alive, it'll be brilliant. Doesn't manage it, but still at least got a gun away from the T's. And C's will maintain the AWP, and then
yeah, getting an AWP, getting 2 kills, even though the money situation for EnVy is already, well, they're pretty stacked,
yeah,
still.
pretty good.
It's always going to be more money spent when you get those kills in an eco, so not bad, always good.
And 6-5 now. NAVI starting to feel a little bit of the pressure, maybe starting to feel a little bit less comfortable. It was the perfect beginning for the team that maybe struggled in some of the games, had a really off performance against Fnatic And now let's see how this one goes. A very early boost towards mid. This looks like a faster play coming up from the T side as the flashes come in. Sees he's going to be left with a lot of players to deal with. He finds NBK first of all. Guardian finds Smith, and it's looking so good for the CTs until shots broke through towards the site. But the bomb is not with them. The bomb's still down, and Seas knows it. He's going to lock this one out, and in mid, it's all going Navi's way. Is now just here alive, tucked into the corner, and there we have it. Seas with a great round coming in, picking up 2 there, and keeping control of that bomb. And what spurred that really aggressive play from the T side?
Well, I would actually touch how Navi just happened to have 3 guys on that A side right away, and then NV hit the site, and they just got demolished because of having 3 CTs there. It's not easy to hit the site, that's the end of it, pretty much.
I guess maybe a little bit of luck of just being on the right side at the right time almost for the CTs. I wonder if that's going to be the same again. 3-1 split towards A. Shocks. Smith & Co heading over there, and Guardian already watching that absolute pixel.
This is one of those...
Look at Smith's on the other side.
This is one of those things you
oh my god, Smith almost had him.
Yeah. Down to 9 HP as a Guardian. But Seized and Shocks are, I think they're stood a wall between themselves on the A main. But no, oh, there we go, Guardian just gets the pick on Happy. But this is one of those rounds where Envy is just running like a default strategy where they're just going to get some early picks and then they have some kind of an execution. And it seems like it's going to be a B execution happening.
Well, Zeus going down very early on is going to certainly help that one out, but it has allowed Starix now to get into towards the side, but that Molly takes him down very low, and Shocks is going to engulf that in his step as NBK, as we now know, likes to kick in the game, and Sees with a beautiful shot towards NBK, and Shocks at least slows it down and brings it to the one-on-one. Guardian against Smith, and Guardian misses the first. That could have been huge. Guardian now readjusts. He needs it, and he gets it!
There we go. Yeah,
missing the 2 times he had the chance to begin with. But I guess 3rd time down.
Stuff seems to be struggling a bit on the B side. He needs to really pick up his play.
Yeah, and I saw your face when he missed that first shot. Did you just think that was done? As soon as he missed the first one.
Yeah, it felt like for me it felt like, okay, it's done, but no, just made it work. But yeah, Starix really needs to step up his game on B, because that kind of retakes are not going to happen where Seas is just going to come through the vent and get 2 picks or kills right away every single round, so Starix needs to pick up his pace on B.
We'll keep our eyes on that one going forward. If they do decide to go for it again, it certainly seems something that the T-side do like to toy with every now and then, but Zeus doing great work there, finding 2 players and evening it up a little more. But now down to just Happy and Smith. The T-side need to find something. It's just Smith, breaks through mid, finds one, spins for the second, Zeus denies it. And Navi start building back some of the lead that they began with.
Yeah, and now Envy is going to be in a pretty rough situation for money-wise for the last round. They're going to have to go for the Tech 9s probably. You may even see 5 of those. No, we did equal. But still, they're going to go be mainly pistols and some smokes and flashes and Molotovs, and maybe we see some kind of a direct execution on one of the 2 bomb sites actually.
It looks maybe like a B so far. It's certainly looking like it now. Zeus going to back up Starix, the man we pointed out. Going to be supported by Zeus here. And he goes get 1, but NBK will follow up, and the Molotov and the man himself, Guardian, doing the damage, and that's a nice way to end this one out for Navi. A 10-5 scoreline. It started to look a little bit close there at times, once we saw the NV side starting to get really into this, but they seem to draw it back there.
Yeah, for me it felt like Navi lost control of that half, actually, somewhere in the middle, but then got that round in the end. I think 10-5 for them was the minimum that they were looking for, and it's something I think both teams will feel like going into the second half. You know, we got room to work with. Now it's something we can work with, and pistol round definitely gonna be something both teams wanna always win, but especially EnVyUs, now that they are down to 5 rounds, they're gonna be in a lot of trouble, and they're not gonna leave themselves a lot of room for error if they happen to lose the pistol round, and the 2nd and the 3rd round as well.
So a lot of pressure on them coming into this, and if you're in their shoes, is there any way you'd change, or is this the last time you'd ever want to change something coming into a big round like this? You know, mentally, how do you come into it?
Yeah, well, you wanna do things you've done before, so that it doesn't come down to a situation where someone misunderstood something, or you know, some kind of weird things happen that that shouldn't happen, and that may cost you a round. So they'll probably want to go with a thing that they've done before, something they have planned before. I'm sure they have a bunch of setups for plus around CT side as well. So just go with your own the set of tools that you have with.
And I always ask the question, you know, how much do these teams play for the anti-strat and then just play for themselves in a way? And I think you've highlighted on some of these rounds that there's rounds probably to anti-strat and there's rounds to play your own game, I guess. And obviously the first pistol is going to be something to be seen.
Yeah, you can like pick up some signals, certain things that teams do and have tendencies to do, and you adjust accordingly. But you don't straight up anti-strat, because they may anti-strat you, anti-stratting them, and then you're going to be screwed over. So you just pick up on signals just like that, and you know some kind of tendencies that they have on, okay, who's going to be lurking and who's going to be doing this, so on, so on, so on. So everyone's been playing each other for so long and so many times, so you sort of learn what they're doing.
Well, guys and girls, let's get ready for the second half of the first map here in the best of three. NAVI up against EnVy. 10-5's the scoreline. As you said, EnVy desperately want this pistol round. It's going to be the way they want to start this one off. And only one man on the A site. Only Happy.
Yep, they are really putting a lot of force on B side, and it seems like the bomb is actually coming on A, so there's going to be a lot of action on Happy's end here.
Well, Happy, this is a extraordinarily hard situation to be in. 4 players coming in. The rotate did begin from the CTs, but the T's not yet committing. Just going within. Actually, Happy's going straight in. Zeus finds him both. The Tech 9 just shreds him to pieces as MBK pops the flash over the top, catches 3, stops them, but Edward breaks in. It's all looking like NAVI right now as they do break through. Zeus even takes down Edward, but Keo breaking him from the side. Starix claims him, and it looks like NAVI are on absolute point in this round.
Yeah, that situation with Happy was actually, like, I think he felt that they were maybe like a fake or something, that there was only going to be like one guy in A main, because it took a while. Okay, let's bring it back to this one. Shox just picking up 2, still has armor. Zeus low, time not on his side, he's making it work. 1 more to go. Zeus is down 18 HP, but time is running against him. He's got a kit, but can he make this? It's surely not enough time. Nope.
There's no time, he picks it up in the end, but time is against him. The bomb goes off, NAVI get it, but there's no denying that man's caliber. Shox can always play.
Yeah, he's one of the best in the world, I think. Was it? Let's see.
Let's just watch it back. This is beautiful stuff. But then it also plays to credit of, why would you ever peek him? You know, these play, you've got to watch the push and I get it, but peeking him one by one, it terrifies me. Still, 11-5. EnVy now, is this when you start worrying? Is there a moment you think, okay, we really need to now bring everything back to basics and just play the absolute best we can? Is there a moment where panic starts to kick in, or is it just calm from this way onward?
Well, I think they have enough experience enough to panic, actually. But they've brought up here. They've fully invested in this, and it's going to be hard, actually.
Oh, until MBK did that, he got the double, but now it's Guardian in a 1v2. Man who's been brilliant for his side, keeps doing so, picks up 2 so far, but can he find Happy just above him? Happy over the top, Guardian edges forward. He's got to admit it, but oh my god, Happy finds it in the end, taking down Guardian. That's one way to miss a moment, but still, 6-11 now for EnVy.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't actually, like, the way they just pushed on A side, I wouldn't agree with that. They should have played it slower and felt out more on what EnVy was doing, actually. But, you know, they did make the choice of directly going to one of the sites, and EnVy had a pretty massive stack on that site, and it cost them a round, and basically just gave EnVy a new lifeline on this match, on their snap, actually. So, but you know, it's easy. As I said before, it's very easy to save from here, sitting, watching with an X-ray on.
Hindsight, 2020 vision. We've got every tool we need to pretty much say this.
It's a lot easier than playing. So.
Yeah, there's so much focus these guys go into, and every single step they make is calculated for. And obviously, we see the big picture of things back here, but still. Yep. Tech 9s for the T side. We've seen what damage they can do. The CZs being shown off by EnVy in just that prior round, but Keo taking down Zeus early on. Mid's not going to help it out, and he can just dance between. Edward, though, does take out MBK, so maybe opening up towards the A side. Guardian with a stunner towards Smith, and it's game back on. 4v3, AK and M4 with armor. This round's looking dangerous, and Happy is really going to have to be the linchpin of this. Peeks out, gets Starks out, gets the second, and the beautiful control from Happy. Shots comes in, EnVy lock it down.
Wow, like we just spoke before, I think it was before this match, Happy has been a happy guy.
You'd be pretty pleased, right?
Yeah, he's been doing a good job in the game of Counter-Strike for a good few months, and he just showed it again. Literally just almost locking down that fight on his own. Had he not been able to get those 2 kills early on, as the push came in, could have been a totally different story for that round. But now, EnVy is back into it, and we have NAVI on a save round, and EnVy has a lot of more room to work with.
Yeah, we're seeing the UMP again, which just beautiful. Now, T-side trying to find something out of this.
They just wanna get a bomb flag.
Yeah, pretty much, and they may get it. You know, it seemingly worked previously, but now Happy adjusts for it. Does get a spray, gets the follow-up. Happy looking like he wants to get this looking pretty on the scoreboard. Give himself 2 in that round, but it will be locked out in the end by EnVy.
Yeah, it's very hard to get a bomb plant going in if you don't have any nade, any smoker flashes, which I did not have. So it was a desperate try for a plant on A site. Here we go, another buy round.
Yeah, this is an important one as well. 11 to 8. EnVy need this one in the bag to get themselves really on par here, and I think it would kind of bring the message home to NAVI that we are still very much in this game, and we are seeing Smiths with the AWP, so certainly investing. Yeah,
and this is EnVy's choice too as a map, so they really want to bring their own map home, that's for sure. The next couple rounds is going to be very important in terms of where's this match going to be going towards.
And just a little heads up, in 92% of the rounds, the Guardian got the opener. They went on to win that round itself. This guy has been opening quite consistently as well. It's pretty phenomenal to watch. But still, a slower round coming up for the T side. Maybe a little bit more classical of the NAVI style with 1 minute left. But a couple of pop flashes in mid, and they start to gain some sort of control there. Happy is boosted up though, so I think that's the first time we've actually seen him on top of it in this game.
Yeah, they used to do it a lot more often, but then I guess teams really picked up on it.
Getting slightly more common.
Yeah, so, but then it's a good idea to still have that.
Nice to be able to switch back. 2 shots. Gets Zeus down, but I wonder if they're aware of Guardian sneaking up short here. He's just behind MBK, and they are aware as he spins around, as Edward does go down to Happy in the end. Starks and Guardian, the last 2 alive though. Just in an impossible situation. There's 3 players for the CT side. With the bomb inside, I don't think Guardian's magic can work this time.
Yeah, NAVI just sort of came in 1 by 1, and I don't know if that's not really the way they should be doing it. Like, they need to play together as a unit, be able to try and get those return kills, the trade kills, when someone falls down. But this time they just had everyone like taking peeks and going around 1 by 1, and you're not gonna. I don't think that's going to work against a team like EnVyUs, because they have a lot of skill, and they play well together. So, you really need to get those trade kills to have an opportunity, and so we need to see better plays out of NAVI if they want to get more rounds on T side.
So we are seeing a couple of text lines, smoke splashes. They're not lightly invested into this NAVI. They've certainly put a little bit more towards it. So is this once again just the focus on the plant, or are they looking for more here, trying to take some guns away, trying to invest into it for that sort of purpose?
It's a bit of both. They want to win, obviously, every single round they play. Okay, let's watch this first.
And Deeks is starting to work out really well for the T-side. Breaking was 3, but the retake comes out and shots again. Shots with 4. Just making it look beautiful.
Yeah, I had to stop my words when I saw the first 2 kills from NAVI. There we go, Shocks. It's free kill time. Okay.
I think only one guy actually saw him on that.
Okay, that was like a free lunch for him.
He's not going to miss him either. There's been a few moments in this tournament so far we've seen players kind of whiffing some of the easier shots in some of these moments, but I think Shocks is one of the men that we'll never see that happen to, at least not so far. 11-10 though, this game is getting extraordinarily close, and that Molotov will deny Guardian the early peek towards mid. Something he was winning out on consistently on the other side of things.
Yeah, this is the moment where NAVI really needs to get into this match. Otherwise, EnVy, I feel like, is going to run away with it.
And we saw and the first time we saw these guys on Cash, the counter boost in a gun round as well. They boosted Keo actually up and over, but I don't know, what the difference is when they decide to go for it. We'll come back to that in a second, so I kind of want to ask you when you'd utilize that. And looks like Keo and Shox are edging closer, but Guardian.
All right, we got 92% chance of.
Here we go. Let's see if he
on.
keeps true to it. And the stat man in the back. Here we go. That's what I was talking about. The counter boost here. They did once again try just to maybe get a cheeky peek, but actually boosted up Shox there. As Zeus gets Keo, and now Shox goes aggressive. He's creeping these guys out. He's trying to hunt them down actively. He's gonna get Zeus, and brings it back to a 4v3. But Edward has pretty much got him locked in here, and Happy has to hold on almost on his own here. Peeks in. Happy finds C's. Nice work towards the side. Bomb is still in mid. It's not committed. Navi has this great slow style that we haven't seen just yet, but maybe this is the round that they want to just slow it down for. Guardian has a complete free bomb site, and Edward found Happy lurking in mid, and A is completely open for the taking. Smith saw it as a B. Happy rotated mid. They should have the time for a comfortable plant and setup, and surely Smith isn't even going to challenge this.
No, he's gonna probably try and save his op, because he's down to $900 only. So, but yeah, the statistic didn't lie. Guardian getting the first pick.
Stat man gets a pat on the back, and he might get a meal this evening if he's lucky. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But all in all, I kind of go back to the. We'll watch Smith to get the exits at least.
Yeah, sure.
Just at least find Starks. But these are the first team that I'm really seeing doing a bought-up counter boost through mid, and they're doing it against gun rounds. Is this something that's becoming more commonplace, or is this something that only EnVy really like to use? So I do vaguely remember it was Dig who did bring out a lot of the counter stack through mid early on.
Well, it's one of those things you do by feel. For us anyway, it's always been like, yeah, whenever you feel like, this would be the good opportunity to do it, and it's not something you maybe plan too much ahead.
Well, the crowd are getting behind Navi. The game is getting a lot closer, 12-10. Navi wanted a crowd, and they've certainly got one.
Yeah, they're warming up for, they have a Virtus Pro match coming later.
I don't think we're allowed to even mention that name without this crowd going wild. But we are seeing the double up, and we are into the 23rd round. So let's bring it back to the game and see what we have here. And then, all in all, Starix looking for it. And it looks so close sometimes, but what do we make of this? Because it seems that Navi has sped up a lot recently. I think it's been a discussion point, but we've seen them also now falling back to slightly slower rounds. Is this just kind of adding to their book of tricks almost?
Yeah, I guess they have like two different modes to themselves, where they can play really slow, but they can really speed it up. Because we used to really see Navi wear down the clock to like the very last second. Like, they'd be planning at like 2 seconds left of the round. So, maybe we'll see one of that. But what they're really trying to do is to get Guardian to get the picks, but nope, MBK takes care of him, and I think they're in trouble.
And they are, and it's making it look worse as Keo does find Starks and sees Lurks. Waits for Happy, pounces, gets it. Zeus found Keo, and now Bombside looks a little more vulnerable, and Edward gonna try and push it home. It does get one towards MBK now, 1v2. Bomb is absolutely nowhere near him. He does spot out Shox, but Shox peeks up an inch, and he takes a mile, and now 1v1. Smith's up against Edward.
Yeah.
This could work out. The bomb...
For sure. I think Edward is...
Oh my god, the time though. I'm not sure if he's got enough time to even get towards B and actually plant. Oh, but he's...
Hello.
He spotted it.
How you doing?
He's got 9 seconds to make the cut, and no. Smith just went to the car 5 seconds. He doesn't have the time for it. Smith just snuck away, and by the grace of God, Smith gets out of that situation. I don't think he even knew what was lurking just behind him.
Yeah, what I was going to say, if there's one of those, Edward is one of the players you really you'd like to have in the 1-on-X situations, because he's phenomenal in those, and he just seems to just much like, let's say, like a get right. He really excels in those situations, and but too bad for him that there was too little time. That's not the slow play. He was sort of sacrificed from late round shenanigans, so to speak. So he ran out of time.
Shenanigans indeed, as Happy gets a little bit aggressive there, going for a look down towards... Ooh, Squeaky caught one through the smoke, but still tagged himself, and I'm waiting to see the T-side actually push through, and they are. Smith stopped Edward, and now who's going to stop the rest? The smoke holds back the T's. Happy's nade found Starix. And Zeus the corner of the smoke, gonna peer around, find Happy, take him down, and maybe the T-side can still make this stick. It's down to Guardian. 1v2, he's got a 1v1 here up against MBK if he makes it quick, but Kyo is fast on his way through.
Yeah, low HP on Guardian's side, so...
It doesn't matter there, he's going to find Kyo anyway, and there is enough time this time to get over towards B.
Yeah, less shenanigans in the early round. It gives you more room for more shenanigans in the late round.
All about those shenanigans today. That's all it is.
One-on-one. Still it favors MBK health-wise, but let's see what kind of plan Guardian gets in.
Well, going for a fairly standard start. I don't think he's...
Yeah.
Oh, Nathan didn't even expect him to be that quickly over towards B, but bomb is down and Guardian now needs to play this perfectly. Picked up the first, not gonna get the second. MBK comes around, gets the frag he needed, and that will be the defuse coming in.
Yeah, I feel like if you, in hindsight, always, again, really easy to sit there and watch, but in a situation when you're low HP, one-on-one, you really need to be super decisive on what you want to do, and not be, because, you know, the way he played it, he wasn't 100% sure of what he was going to do. He was sort of trying to, I don't know, like outsmart the opponent or something.
Almost overthinking it.
Overthinking it, yeah. Maybe do a plan for towards the room with the vent in, and you can just go there and play by there and just hope for the best, basically, because you have a lot of, you have little HP only.
Crowd getting absolutely wild here, and Edward and Zeus taking their time with this, and it's pretty much good. It's a near full-on eco. We do see at least a couple of Deagles, P250s and Tech 9s, but nothing to write home about. No armor, no flashes, no nades, no nothing to really make a play from. And in this, is it time to discuss for them, do you think? Is it time to try and work things out, or is it just try and get a couple of guns away? What's their main focus here?
Well, considering the state of Tech 9 right now, you never know with that weapon. But mostly they're just trying to get kills and see if they maybe can get a pick or two early on, and then get some weapons stolen, and then, you know, you never know what happens. But they have no armor, so that's going to make it really tough. Really tough, especially with how the aim punch works in this game.
Yeah.
When you're getting hit, it's almost game over.
It's not a great time, yeah. It's not a great time at all. 13-12 though, EnVy finally take the lead in this game. Really been trailing behind NAVI for quite some time, but they seem to be warming themselves into this one even late into the game. They are finding some sort of strides towards confidence. We're seeing a very well brought up NAVI and a very well brought up EnVyUs.
Yeah, the problem with NAVI is that they're unable to string rounds together.
Oh, this could be huge. Guardian just misses Shocks, but Shocks misses back towards him, and oh my god! A centimetre apart, but in the massive mess that went on, Kyo got a kill onto Stars.
Yeah, that could have as well been a hit, I feel like, watching it.
Yeah, from our point of view, it certainly looked like it, but Happy then going for the aggressive play again through Squeaky, not panning out. As now Zeus Edward seized, and Guardian look for a way back into this round.
Yep. No, but it's always going to make it harder. Like, the thing is, when you're playing slow like this, you're looking for that early pick.
Oh my
Force of rotation from the CTs, but actually turned out the other way around. Stars getting picked off early on.
Guardian on the rotate, we aren't going to see maybe an A push. Edward smoking out towards the truck as Seas does take down MBK. Happy was just around that corner though, and waiting in the corner is Happy, but Happy no more as Edward does get himself towards the side. So starting to look towards maybe looking down the bomb site if he can. Try and get some control. He pushes forward, gets Kyo, avenging his teammate earlier on, but that molly going to slow any aggression down, hold them in. Now 3v2, the T side have the weapons, have the armor. They don't have the bomb down just yet, and Shocks pushes forward. He's going to get the tag, he's going to go for the bomb. He gets it down, that's Zeus. Decimated. Now, Smith finds Guardian, Shocks for the follow-up. This is beautifully done by the Frenchman. 14-10. To 12.
Yeah.
How did they let him get that close? He snuck up around him. It was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's just a lot of things going the right way for Shocks in that situation, to be honest with you. It just happened to fall. Everything just fell into place for him, and I think that was a really costly round for NAVI as well, because, you know, there was really going to be a really good chance for them to get into this if had they won that round. Even though now they've fully invested on this one as well, so there's always going to be a slight chance, but it's going to be that much harder with the 12-14 situation in favor of EnVy.
14-12. big scoreline to start looking at, so close towards match point. You can see the aggression coming through. Happy has constantly done this, and he's made it work this time. Actually picking up one, but exchanging a 1-for-1 at this point. Dangerous to be playing with. We saw what happened not too long ago. Cloud9 going aggressive against an E-code upside, but still Smith does find Edward. And
no. Okay.
I thought sNiiTLAUCH was right next.
Yeah, me too. X-ray.
Yeah, X-ray
mind games.
Shenanigans again. 3v3 though. It's not looking good for the T side here. Keo is around the back of them. He'll spot the bomb, spots down Zeus, takes him down, and now just Guardian alive. 1v2. He's got the first. But Shock still lurks. This man has been in every single situation. You just don't want someone in.
Yeah, but it's really hard for him again. He's very low on HP once again.
But he does slip through at least the clutches of Shocks, but I don't know what else he could really make out of this round.
Yeah, 22 seconds left only, so it's going to limit his options. He's going to actually opt to save for the following round. Oh, I can live with that choice.
I think sometimes you're going to have to make a choice, and it's not always the one that excites the crowd, but it's the one that makes the most sense in the end. And maybe going to go for the draw eventually if they can and take it to the overtime sort of markers. And, well, there we go. EnVy starting to look very solid here, and just good play overall from every single member. It's not even one player constantly shining in this. We've got 3 players on 20 kills here. Smith's, Happy, and MBK. It's absolutely unreal. So 15-12 now. EnVy pick this round up. They get map 1. This is the best of 3, bearing in mind. So we're out of the best of 1 phase. This is the biggest round they're going to play coming into this map. Now, what's their focus here? Is there a way that the T-side are going to try and push them further, or do you think we're going to see the same round start coming out?
I think they're just going to try and it feels like they're going to want to just play passively trying to get that fix, but Kiyoshima could make a lot of difference here, but nope, being able to get the kill. Meanwhile, Guardian does what he needs to do and gets that early pick.
Oh, we know MBK is always lurking around here, and Guardian still single-handedly trying to drag his team through this one. Smoking out, Shocks, taste down C's, squeaky door as Edward and Guardian start working towards that A site. sNiiTLAUCH still far away. Edward got a beagle to his name, and the push comes in, the aggression from Shocks. This man has been monstrous, and he's done it in this situation, but sNiiTLAUCH now 1v2. Going to have to find some sort of magic here with 50 seconds left. The bomb is firmly in the hands of the opposition. But I guess he knows where they are, but it's going to be an uphill struggle, quite literally.
He's not had the best of maps, so if he clutches this, you know, that's
one way to get your name back in the good books. Let's find out. Shocks closes out, but he's now giving away the game here. And Keo watching an angle, and it's EnVy to get map 1 under their belt. Nicely done overall in the end, 16-12. With a good performance, turning around what looked like a dangerous start, the very opening rounds of this map.
For sure. NAVI really showed, I think, a really good CP half, actually, even though it felt like EnVy halfway through the half felt like they were creeping back into it, but in the end, good job for NAVI.
Yeah, so I've got to ask the question, is this just EnVy playing good enough, or is there more for them to give, do you think? Because I still feel that's not the most smooth play I've seen from all the most clear-cut games from them just yet, but do you reckon they're holding back at all, or is this NAVI actually coming into this pretty well and pushing them quite far?
You know, like we were talking before, NAVI really needs to peak individually for them to totally show their full potential, because it feels like if anything, sNiiTLAUCH is a player that I really would love to see put in more numbers in, pretty much, because he before he's been